Well, Atlas, you've impressed me with Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Persona 5. So, is Soul Hackers 2 going to live up to that quality? As a huge fan of the franchise, I've been eagerly anticipating a Soul Hackers sequel. Getting straight to the point, this is a good game. There are, however, plenty of flaws which stop Soul Hackers 2 being a great game. Now, before I raise those flaws, let me tell you things I loved. Straight away, the art style comes to your immediate attention. It's both vibrant yet depressing, perfectly fitting the overall mood of the story and characters. The music is also worth noting. It's like the 80s, 90s and early 2000s had an electronica baby. The story is pretty dang interesting too. Sure, there are those irrational hot-tempered moments, but I enjoyed the majority of the story, including the characters involved in it. Even the little changes with having your demons appear on the map, more often giving you gifts and HP recovery, while providing some funny little dialogue. It adds to the overall world. Gameplay wise, the press turn system has been axed. Instead, you have a stack system. Essentially, the more you exploit the enemy's weaknesses, the more damage you do to all enemies at the end of your turn. It's a great system which rewards smart thinking, yet also stops you losing 2 turns in battle if your moves miss like in the previous games. One major change for the better is how ailment skills now do damage as well as giving you a chance to inflict poison, sleep or even dread. Each summoner also has their own skills, ranging from protecting characters from dying for a turn, making crits add to your stat counter, or just giving you the ability to sprint. Yes, you heard that right. And now that I've opened this can of worms, I may as well jump headfirst into the issues. Movement around the map is slow. You have to wait around 5 to 10 hours before you can unlock the sprint skill, and that is still only a light jog. It's such a shame considering how much fun it was to maneuver around in Shin Megami Tensei 5. Oh, and don't forget to adjust the camera in the settings, as the default option will have you sliding all over the place and hate walking even more. Other simple quality of life features are missing too. There are almost 0 quest markers on the map, except some story important ones. Side quest markers? Forget about it. Not even all quest givers have markers, so forget about if you need to fight a boss or find a specific item. Quests involve a lot of backtracking too, even if it's just to talk to someone you already know. Weird how you have mobile phones in the game, yet you have to talk to people face to face instead of sending a cheeky text message. Battles felt a little tedious to begin with too. Overall damage dealt against regular enemies felt oddly low, yet when it came to the bosses, it felt like I was the one who needed to be nerfed. Not a good sign that I died multiple times against normal enemies, and maybe twice against all bosses in the game. With the final boss battle being so easy that I was at full HP almost the entire fight, even without the HP and MP heal between forms. Another weird omission is how you cannot speed up or even remove battle animations except during auto battle. There are also some elements that are missing, including all Mudo and Hammer skills, so a lot of demons feel the same, which was already a big problem with the series as a whole. I know these are nitpicks, but like I said, these are things which are holding Soul Hackers 2 back from reaching its full potential. At times this game feels modern, yet has moments where it plays like an early PS2 game and not in a good way. Even with all these issues though, I would still recommend playing Soul Hackers 2. However, you will need a little patience for the first couple of hours. Genuinely, I was hesitant at the start. When I was first playing those first few hours, I was dreading that some of this game was just going to be not so stellar. In fact, I was worried it was going to be a bad game, which is very much a shame because I'm a huge Shin Megami Tensei fan. And fortunately, the annoyances I had at the very beginning of the game started to improve. And I still have some very annoying issues that haven't really been addressed. And maybe there will be in a patch, I don't know. Like, the biggest one for me is just how slow you move. And the fact that you have to spend MP to be able to not sprint but jog is kind of outrageous, and it should really be something you just do naturally, like you did in Shin Megami Tensei 5. That was so much fun to roam around in that world. The movement system was just really enjoyable. But for whatever reason, they didn't copy it in this for an AI character with a human body. So she should know what to do, and it just didn't happen. Yeah, the story was good though. I must admit, I really did enjoy the story and the development of the characters. And like I said in the review, there is a missed opportunity with Ringo not being customizable. As much as I like Ringo, she isn't really a main character, and even the even the characters in the game say she's not really much of a leader. But oh well, I don't want to do it, and that's genuinely it. That's all it is. So yeah, there's kind of I wouldn't be surprised if I looked up somewhere that Ringo wasn't originally the main character, and in fact, like Arrow was the main character, and then they decided to change him to a secondary character. I would not be surprised at all. But yeah, it just seemed very odd. And like I said, I like Ringo. She's a good character. She's very interesting. In fact, all of them were. I liked all of the main characters, even the villains. While I do wish they were a bit more fleshed out, I did enjoy. There's not really any character that I disliked. Thinking about it, there was no real annoying character. So it's definitely got that going for it. The gameplay, again, I do wish there was a fast forward, not just auto battle. But you can't turn off the battle scenes or battle effects like you can in Shin Megami Tensei 5, for example. So a lot of the battles feel slow paced, and a lot of enemies just take quite a while to kill, really, especially at the start. And the fact that your level ups don't really matter too much is yeah, it's a bit frustrating. Um, you just have no control, which is very weird to say in a Shin Megami Tensei game where you don't have much control in what your character does. And again, I'm nitpicking and have these issues because the game is very good. It is a very good game. I do hate the fact that I am going to be one of those that says, it does get better a few hours in. It should be good now. As simple as that. Any game you shouldn't have to wait hours for it to get really good. It should be good from the get-go. The first half an hour, first hour in a JRPG, that should set the ground for you, and then you should be able to really embrace the world and embrace the mechanics of the game. You shouldn't have to wait multiple hours before it gets good, especially when the game is shorter as well compared to your Persona games, your Shin Megami Tensei games. It was, I mean, I've got 40 hours in the game, and that includes me doing some of the second run. I mean, that says enough, right? As far as a recommendation, I'm already looking to do the second run. But yeah, I really did like it. I was really worried about it, and fortunately, a lot of the issues I had do get resolved, but not all of them.